Okay, I'm on all by myself right now, but I'm going to wait and see if, oh, hi. Hey, glad you're here. Oh, we'll see if anyone jumps on to talk about this phone call. Do you think I should play the phone call as well as talking about it, or should I just talk about it? What's your thoughts, Gma? You got any thoughts on that? Hi, hi, hi. Lord Fartwad, flip flop. Yeah, hi y'all. Hey, truth and justice. Uh, y'all, this video that's come out, it's alarming to say the least. Um, what gets me about this whole thing is, hey Deb, uh, you don't want to hear it again. Yeah, it's very troubling. It really is. The one thing that came to it is horrible. It is horrible. I can't stand the thought of it, but it is something that we have all at least tossed that idea around from time to time because Dawn has gone on to say, um, yeah, it's. But see, here's the thing: it wasn't her. Well, if she was talking to this young guy, which I would not have put his name out there, I think that's okay. Uh, okay, I have the video. If y'all can stand listening to it again, um, flies on the coleslaw. Oh, you know, I've always thought. I mean, I feel like it was okay. There's no evidence of her being kidnapped or abducted, right? There's no evidence of anything. So I just, in my mind, it just seems like it has to be somewhat planned, more than one person involved. I've always thought that. Uh, I, how much? I mean, and okay. And from the very beginning, what troubles me about this phone call is from the very beginning, um, Dawn was so adamant that, like, and Candace too, they're not going to find her, right? Um, Dawn was like, well, she might be dead. For right at the beginning. Yeah, I've got his explanation too. I kind of wanted to play both. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play. Okay, hey, truth and justice, can you handle one more time? I don't, I wanted to listen to what BK had to say too. Yeah, I mean, just from the very beginning, um, I'm afraid for that too. I'm going to post that. I forgot I can post these comments. I'm sorry, y'all. This is what I have a problem with about that phone call is they put names out. There's no way in a million years I would have put that person's name out at all, ever, because we already know that area and the people that Dawn and Candace and others in that area deal with are dangerous people, and I am concerned. I am very concerned about these people and the fact that they put that young man's name out. He's 23 years old. 23 years old, and they put this kid's name out there, and you know how this case is. They're going to be like, people are going to be like trying to talk to him. If his inbox isn't just full already, I would be shocked. um but Well, okay. Yeah, I know. I don't either, but he's the one that was in this phone call talking to these people, and he did like a rebuttal. So I wanted to hear what he had to say about that. You know what I mean? Um, y'all don't hate me. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna play it for the ones who haven't heard. It's listen. It's graphic. It's very upsetting to listen to, and it's it's really upsetting. It really is. I don't know that I can. Oh, hey, Cheshire. You know what? I was trying to find your email last night. Thank you. I want to talk to you because I know there's like a whole bunch of something going on and I don't even know, and that's what I get for trying. I I've not been on as much as normal because my husband's like, "Oh, you're on there too much," and so I'm trying to like kind of uh play both sides of the fence here. So, um, all right. Yes, yeah, I mean, it's very, I would love to talk to you. I'll give you my phone number. I, I'm gonna play both videos, okay? Because that's only fair. If we're gonna listen to this, we've got to listen to, what Benny Keith says after. So I'm gonna mute out. I'm gonna share. This is hard to listen to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Yes, trigger warning, please. Grandma, Gma, if you'll throw up some of those little trigger signs, I'd appreciate that. Um, thank you, thank you. Okay, here we go. This is hard to listen to now, y'all.
Hello. Hello. Is this Hi. Is this Miss Kara? It's Carla. Yes. Carla. Sorry. It's okay. How are you? Okay. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm all right. Long day for me. Yeah. I had a bunch of kids. Probably took them to the movies, and it was pretty hectic. Yeah. So talk to me. What do you know, and how do you know it? Okay. First, let me explain the reason why I am not going to any type of law enforcement, because I live in a very remote area, kind of like where the Wells are from. And here it's just, when people have made bad choices in their life and they get incarcerated and they try to report things like that, there's potential backlash. And I'm just not trying to look for that. In my early 20s, I made some stupid decisions and found myself in prison. And I'm just not trying to go back to any of that. So I have very good reasons why I'm not going to any law enforcement to explain any of this to anybody. So okay. I have been following this for, I'm going to say about 3 months. Not as long as most, I guess, but something like this, when it hits an area, it hits pretty hard. And considering people when they have children of their own, it's hard to have to watch that unfold. So, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I really don't have much time to do much of anything with my life but take care of kids. So at night I stay up and I watch this. I watch YouTube and all these other things, and I just kind of follow and listen. I never comment. I never talk to people, none of that stuff. So I was sitting here one day and my husband calls me and he says, I need to tell you something. I said, okay, is there something wrong? He says, no, there's nothing wrong. He says, but you know that Summer Wills case that you've been following? I said, yeah. I said, what about it? He said, well, the guy that I work with is actually dating the social worker that's involved with this case. And I was like, oh. I said, did you get that? He's sitting here beside me.
Oh, he's sitting next to you. No, I didn't hear him. What did he say?
He is.
Can you? Hey, how you?
She's not just the social worker controlling the case, but she is controlling the youngest child of the Wells, of the boys. She's actually like she's a psychologist, social worker. She works for CPS, but she's also a licensed therapist as well.
Okay.
Right. So he I don't know if the other children, but I know that he is actually in what they call an Isaiah house. And this child, she says that he just kind of stares at walls and he doesn't talk much and he's just kind of zoned out majority of his day. So they have a hard time even getting him to respond to anything they say to him.
This is the youngest boy.
Right.
Okay.
So he goes on to tell me, and I'm like, well, let me talk to the guy you work with because I want to hear this from him, So I get on the phone with him and I start asking him, what do you know about this? And he's like, well, she's dead. I said, well, how do you know that? He said, because my girlfriend is the social worker that deals with the youngest child. He's in what they call an Isaiah house, and he's traumatized from the whole incident. And I said, well, how do you know that she's no longer alive? And he said, because according to his girlfriend, that the Wells, both parents apparently had set something up because they owed a lot of money to somebody. And when it come time to pay, Dawn couldn't pay. So they were actually directed to give not just Summer, but the youngest boy up for ransom. So it was both of them that were supposed to be given up. Something had happened that day and everything fell apart. It went wrong. And during the time that they were taken from a home, apparently, I don't know if he said it was at the house when this happened or if it was away, but when the boy and the girl realized what was happening, Summer apparently tried to run, and the little boy ran, and something happened to where Summer got hurt, and they actually watched her cut that little girl's throat. And this is what he's told the social worker.
But she's not allowed to say anything because of an NDA.
An NDA act. So there's her as well as the guy that works with my husband, and like 5 local law enforcement knows about this, but according to him, nobody can say anything about this because she could actually go to jail for telling and lose, what job she has and anything that comes.
Well, I'm not. So it's been like, so it's reported essentially. Like this isn't a thing that I need to report necessarily because the way I guess I understand it is that some law enforcement already knows, correct?
Well,
they do, but
it's kind of know how the law enforcement works. This is not it's like a tight-knit group of buddies.
Yeah, these guys have not reported it to anybody that needs to know.
In fear of their
own families being backlash.
Okay.
Right.
You said
the only reason that I chose to come to you, I mean, there's how many people I guess I could have went.
No,
I don't really
understand.
know why I chose you. I guess just you seem sensible and you could push something where you needed to go. I don't know.
I can. I absolutely can. What I need to do. So because.
I'm going to go ahead and stop it there because they go on to, Benny's like, well, can I talk to the guy? Can I talk to the social worker? And he's like, they're like, I don't think so. He promised not to put the young boy's young man's name out and it gets dropped. So I don't really want to play anymore. So golly, the part that really bothers me, a lot of this bothers me. It bothers me that Dawn has told Cher and Sissy, which is Prayer Garden, both that he owed a sum of money. That bothers me. And that's something that has been talked about, right? Yeah, I know. I'm not saying this is true. I just, and the names, they put the names out. And that really can endanger people. This is a serious case. Let's just assume, just for a moment, that happened and this name was dropped. That makes me upset because, one, like I said, he's only 23 years old. I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to play what BK said because he looked into this a little more after, he even called him back. I'll play that. I'm not going to play his whole thing either because he gets into talking about other creators and stuff like that. So I wanted to share both sides of this. Okay. I wanted to share the phone call and I wanted to share what Benny said that he found out in looking into this, him and Penny, right? Fizzle. So they looked into it. Okay, let me mute. Let's play this. Let's look at both sides of this phone call that was made. We can't make there's so much gossip and so much garbage that surrounds this. We just have to really have an open mind. We can't say, oh my gosh, that's what happened. We don't know. We still don't know. This is still hearsay because these people heard it from someone else who heard it from the social worker. So, I mean, I'm just saying yeah. And if a social worker knows this information, now the lady said that the local law enforcement knows. If the local law enforcement knows this, surely to goodness, the TBI knows this. So allegedly, yeah, this is all alleged. I'm going to mute out. I'm going to play BK's side and we'll get back together. I'm going to mute.
Being in love is good for your health. Okay. Let's talk about the call. So, I believe it was April 7th. I received a call from a man and a woman from around the Knoxville area. They called me many times to try to give me the information, but some of y'all know how I am with the phone, a mess. So finally, the people got through to me. I'll tell you how it played out. There's a man in the call. Hold on, let me move this big ass rock.
So there's a man. The man claims to work for a home improvement company with another man named Chase. Allegedly, the man Chase started out was ex-boyfriend of a social worker, because there's an amendment made to the original call. So, and that was reported as well. I reported it to the TBI, got the standard TBI response, and so I immediately reported it to the FBI. Fizzle was on the call for both agencies. So, this man calls me with his wife, and they tell me this story about Summer. You guys have heard it all. Claims that Summer and the oldest or the youngest boy were both there alone in some facet. Someone came to the property. Someone chased the two children. The boy child was faster than the girl child. The girl child was caught, and then you heard in the call. So throughout the course of me being involved in YouTube, I've gotten many of these sort of very graphic calls, and I never had to be told that you got to turn that stuff in. It's like someone telling you they're going to unalive themselves, even if you feel like they're not. You got to treat that scenario like you believe they will. So it came into the play, the call, and I took the call, and then within 2 hours of receiving the call, I turned it in. It took 2 hours because I had to listen to the story. So I listened to the story. So I take the story to the TBI and the FBI. Even offered to give them the recording, but they did not seem interested in the recording for whatever reason. Never had to send it. So how it got to the line? Well, during the time of the call, Shannon S. was, she was part of the team. So 90 or 100 days ago, well, no, it's not quite that long. April 7th. I let her listen to the call as an example of the shit that I deal with as a YouTuber. Because it had already been cleared out by the TBI, it had already been cleared out by the FBI, actually cleared out, been reported. So she had whatever issue with Bob and Lori at Truth Be Told. Oops. Now, Bombshell Reloaded. I got to give you props this morning. Bombshell Reloaded was playing the call. No, yeah. The Bombshell was playing the call, and Adrian from Krama Mama, she goes over there, and she's like, Bommy, like, I get it. You feel like this is news? This is like the opposite of news. This is like non-news. And like, it would be very helpful if you did not play this call for Summer's sake. So Bommy actually stopped. So I got to give props to Bommy on that one. I also got to give props. I got to give a little props to the neighbor. The neighbor was like, y'all putting this call on the line. This is bullshit. I agree. It wasn't nothing for the line. It was two crackpots that were trying to get Benny Keys to take a Fugazi story to the YouTube, and it didn't happen. It did not happen. So it is troubling for me to know. So let me back up. So while I'm questioning the people about the call, I'm like, so this dude Chase, when you go back and you find the social worker on the Facebook, she is connected to the dude on the Facebook. So it makes it look a little bit initially, you're like, whoa. So I did a bunch of investigating on the woman from the Isaiah House network. She's from the Isaiah House network. Come to find out, the story doesn't work because the story came to me like the lady from Isaiah House told this guy she was dating. Well, come to find out, she wasn't dating this guy Chase, and called the people back, and I'm like, hey, got a problem with this information because this lady from the Isaiah House is not and has not dated this guy Chase you're talking about. So that was when the story changed. It changed to Chase not having, so initially it was that the lady from the Isaiah House cheated on her boyfriend with this guy named Chase and told Chase all this information, which Chase turned around and in turn gave it to one of his coworkers. Oh shit. So I called the people back and I'm like, I researched it all. The lady from the Isaiah House is in a relationship and has been in a relationship with her man for a long time. And that there's been no lady meeting with Chase, on a private sexual rendezvous so that they can get this information back and forth. Like it's discredited information. And furthermore, I'd like to state that the fact that it didn't come to the line shows an integrity. It shows an integrity that I could get a fucked up call like that, turn it in, and not bring it to the line. Like, there's a lot of shit that happened. Let me tell you what. I've had 2 other calls that are more salacious than this one. Yeah. So the rebound, the bounce, the spin, I don't even know where the spin came from because Shannon S. clearly felt some kind of way about me after having recorded the phone call. So she gives it to Bob and Lori. Bob and Lori hang on to the call for 2 months until yesterday I get a message from Shannon telling me it's from Izzy Pop. She forwarded a message to me through Izzy Pop saying that Bob and Lori at Ion Entertainment been the one calling the police on me, and that they're the people responsible for the channel Voices Behind the Shit. So as soon as I make the post, every video on Voices Behind the Shit comes down. Bob, Lori, I'm not mad at you. I'm really not mad. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm not mad at anybody for playing the call because it is a portion of the history, the lineage of the whole kit and caboodle, right? Like, just because it happened and it was kept private and reported doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It did happen. It's a real thing. It's real in terms of it actually, somebody called, 2 people called and told me the story. Now, do I believe that those people believed the story they told me? I actually do. I believe that the man and the woman were told a story to some degree. I agree with JSB. She's livid about the call coming out. I mean, I understand why she's livid, and I appreciate the fact that she can appreciate that I saw the fact that there was no integrity in this call and any of that stuff. And so it just was reported and then left where it should have been left.
Okay. I think that's a good place to leave it because, he's saying that they couldn't find anything valid with this, phone call. And, and I hope there isn't. It is a problem that names were dropped. That bothers me a whole lot. I'm going to, if anybody wants to come up, yeah, and that's what I wanted to do is I wanted to share both sides because the internet is going berserk over this phone call, right? And if I can get that to go. Well, geez. There it goes. If anybody wants to come up, just click that and you can come on up. These boys, I worry about these boys. I hope that they never hear this stuff, but in reality, years later, they might. It's golly, it's just so, it is. Oh my gosh. Does anybody want to come up and give me your opinion on this? It is, it's a disgusting phone call. I do know that. I felt like it was important to come on with, and it's not that I wanted to come on and share that phone call so much as I wanted both sides to be heard. I wanted, Benny to rebut that and to tell us that, yes, they turned it into the TBI and the FBI, and they just were going to let that just, ride, so I just felt like it was really important to hear both sides. I know not everybody listens to either channel. And I do want to say that the voices behind the Shaws is not Cher's channel. Yeah, it is going around. I know that it would have been heard anyways, but I felt like not everybody would hear the other side, that it was, debunked, that this boy whose name has been, hi Justice for All, that this boy whose name has been dropped was not in a relationship with the social worker. So now this 23-year-old boy's name is out there for, how the internet is. Look what happened to, look at Jose. I hate to use him as an example, but Jose was harassed and lost jobs and was called, an RSO when he wasn't, at all. And the internet can do a lot of damage to people. I think a lot of good can come from the internet too. It's just I think that we have to be very careful as creators or anybody who puts information out to be responsible. And like I said, this boy is 23 years old, and now his name's out there, and it's going to have to impact him in a negative way. And this couple who called Benny originally said that his father was a prominent man in the community. So the fact that the name was dropped, it really bothers me. I hope that there's no repercussions for this. That's right. That yes, there was many Jose's, and Justice for All, how he found him is beyond me, because I looked and looked. I mean, I was just trying to find background checks. You put that name in, and all kinds of stuff was brought up. So, the fact that, did we ever find out what was the cause of Jose's passing? Let me drop a link. Anybody wants to come up, I really would love to hear anything from y'all, because I think that y'all and it's so sad, because he had issues. He had oh, I know. I know. I don't know how you found him. I really don't. I mean, I think everybody on YouTube was looking for him, and nobody could find him. How you did that is like beyond me. But I am glad. One thing that did come out, speaking on Jose, in my opinion, I hate that he got the backlash that he did. And I'm not saying he didn't make mistakes in his life. I'm not saying that, but he did have mental issues. It wasn't a suicide. Huh. Well, that's good to know. Man, that's just, he had mental issues. He made mistakes, even staying at the Wells house. I'm not saying that he overlooked things he probably shouldn't, but if he was going through so much, mental stuff himself, didn't he say that whole situation triggered him, and that's why he left. He bolted, and but one thing that was good in him coming on the internet and talking to Justin is that he was able to say to the public that, no, that's not me. I'm not an RSO. Yes, I've done some bad things in my life. Yes, I admit that, but I'm not an RSO. And even though he's lost jobs because people were calling saying that he was an RSO, that was wrong on so many levels. I don't think you should interfere with people's, livelihoods. Even when Dawn was let go of that job, I mean, we don't know the complete truth on Summer's disappearance. So, yeah, I think people have to work, and he lost his job. Jose did, but he was able to clear his name. And we all know now that he's not the Jose that was an RSO. So I think that's the one good thing that, came out of that. So, but anyways, I do worry about the boys. This kind of stuff can be very damaging. Yeah, I think this does run deep. I have said that all along. I just think that it's troubling. Like the 1 year we talked about that, the 1 year update from the law enforcement was very disappointing. Gave us absolutely no information, no more than we've already had. Hey, come on up. I'm gonna add you. Do you want your camera on or off? I don't know if I can hear you. Do you want your camera on? Okay. I can't hear you. I think you might. You might. Well,
No.
you don't want your camera. Okay. Turn your camera off. Okay. Turn your camera off.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Okay. Perfect. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Kay. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. What do you think about this whole thing?
I think this is something that runs so deep that I've been watching the Summer Wells case since the very beginning, and I have been doing my own things and watching and listening. Benny Keys, two people were saw leaving the Wells residence yesterday.
Let me interrupt you just for a second, and I apologize. People are saying that you're echoing, so if you can turn off your YouTube in the background.
Okay.
You're echoing to them, so I can hear you okay, but uh-oh, we lost her. let me put that back. Let me put that back up if she wants to come back up. I do think it's well, come on. She dropped off. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link back up. I do think it goes deep. I think there's a good old boy thing happening a little bit over there. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I don't know if y'all agree, but so just Kay, if you come back up, just turn your sound down, I guess. We'll give her another chance to come back up. I'm interested always in what y'all think. Always. Y'all are the smartest. All right. Kay's back. Hey, can you okay now?
Yeah. Is that better?
Much better. Yes.
I'm
ahead.
good now. Okay.
Okay, so
Is
go
that
ahead
too
and tell us
loud?
what yeah.
I have been studying, like I said. I'm sorry for interrupting. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to tell you go ahead and start over.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say I have been studying the Summer Wells case from the beginning, doing my own work on the side. I've thought about starting a YouTube channel, but I don't want to get in the mess. But yesterday on, I don't know if he gives permission, but a YouTube channel saw two people leaving the Wells resident, two vehicles. It was two males. One had a canoe on the back. He did get their tag number. He followed them out, recorded them. And I remember seeing a while back somebody, Candace, sending a message saying needed to wrap up some things at the house, need to get out. And then boom, that happened. Well, there is video evidence out there. It's on a network that it's copyrighted. You can't, look on it. But FBI knows about it. FBI is involved. And this case, there's so many people involved. It blowed my mind. And this is coming from somebody that has been, in jail in the past years ago. Everybody makes mistakes, but we're talking these are sadist people, Satanist people, and it's all across the world. Dylan Rounds has a farm that the mother, the grandmother, the grandfather, I think the mother knows too. The farm he has is a lot of farms that are going around, and these people believe this is going to be some new world, and it shows this white stuff all over it that looks like snow. It's not snow. This is stuff that these Satanist groups that believe it's going to save them, like the Wales and other, and Harmony Montgomery and little Michael Vaughn. All the cases had the same things. I know people probably think I'm crazy right now, but they showed the barrels that look like flowers and gold like material, and he was showing the symbols like Benny Keys, and Benny Keys is involved. Hunter's dad's involved. I mean, there's so many people. It is just mind blowing. The family were talking about going and getting his seed. The seed is bones of children. They are sacrificing these children. That's why these children are disappearing all around the world, because they are planting this seed in these camps. And Dylan Rounds is missing now because he advertised it on his Facebook page, and he got involved with the wrong group, and the family knows it. And I just couldn't keep this in no longer. After I seen that, and I seen they had the cops were dirty, just like Hawkins County, not getting involved. They're talking about the uppers. They're even probably in the TBI. The FBI is taking over this case. They're already involved in this case. We know that. They've already talked to several people. But
So,
and that's what's going to have to be. It's going to have to be done to stop
and
this.
do you mind me asking, like what channel is that you were hearing that stuff off of?
WCIA network. Now, a lot of people think, because she says, she has the children talk to her, some missing children. Last night I was watching her live, and her phone started flashing, and she records it and then plays it back at 2.5, and she thought something was wrong with her phone. So, she ended her live, and then when she checked it, it broke through. They were actually probably trying to stop her from showing what she was showing. I'm talking Robin Lane, all of them. Actually, these children, and if you all would just watch this channel, I'm telling you, she broke through. You could see what they were doing. They actually are putting these children and hidden in the walls and stuff on these metal things. They put them in a head contraption, and they are sacrificing these precious children. I'm talking that from babies up to teenagers, and it showed them having horrible, nasty sex. And you all, it's just just like Jose said, it's going to be so mind blowing that people just ain't going to believe. This is what he's talking about, people.
Well, I sure do appreciate you coming up and sharing that with us.
This is what he's talking about, people. I'm sorry, if I offended some people,
No, you're
but
fine. Hey, look, we are all entitled to our opinion. Me personally, I think there's a lot of child trafficking.
yes,
That's a big
yes,
problem in the United States. Well, all
yes,
over. I've
yes.
been looking into that, and
So have I.
so I know that child trafficking is a real concern, and we all have to be aware of that in our surroundings and watch our children very closely. And, we have to do our part for sure. But, well, listen, Kay, I appreciate you coming up. I'm going to see if anybody else, I'm going to drop you down and see if anybody else wants to come up and give us their insight on there. Is that
All
okay
right.
with you? Thanks for coming
That's
up.
fine with me. That's fine with me. Y'all have a wonderful day, a blessed day, and y'all, let's hope this case is solved soon and some arrests are made.
Amen. Amen to that. You have a great day. Okay.
You too. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Okay. That's a lot to think about, isn't it? So if anyone else would like to come up, I'll give y'all a chance to come up and give your insight. So, yeah, trafficking is a really huge problem, and we really have to be vigilant here. And the thing with trafficking is, like, it can literally be anyone. It can be a judge, it can be a teacher, it can be uh your next door neighbor. I shared not long ago the story that the girl was in high school. Y'all remember this? And yeah, let's address that just for a minute. Grandis has moved her camper out of there. I mean, really? Do we know that? I would love to have a drone too. You know, it's really sick what is going on with our children. I did a really upsetting story, and I need to really go back and look at to what they are doing. There was the men. It was in New Hampshire, and they were and they were arrested. They were caught, but they had snuff films. They had oh god, just the most vile things were being done to these children, and it was really upsetting. I mean, that story like really messed with my head. It for to think that someone could harm a child uh in that, well, in any way, really. I mean, you can take spanking a kid to the next level, but the things they're doing to babies are so beyond disturbing. And I keep saying over and over that we really need stricter laws. But the sad thing is, it to me is, I believe it's like high up. You look at like Epstein and all the people that have been to his island, and it happens, and it is just so alarming. It really is. You know what? Do y'all want Y'all tell me yes or no. I got a couple of snippets from Megan Walsh. Would y'all be interested in hearing these? You know, I was going to gather more information than just these two clips, but these two things, uh, gee, ma, um, you know, the thing is like, you know, these are powerful people too, right? And so, so Megan is saying that, you know, her father has kind of pretty much kidnapped her first three. She just recently lost a 5-week-old daughter. You know what I mean? And she makes some strong accusations about her father. I mean, she does. Um, even being involved, yeah, it's very upsetting because, like, so that's what I'm getting at is like, so, you know, he's a powerful man, right? He's a powerful man. So the fact that just because he is in power, that he can come and feels like he has the right to take her children because she's speaking up against the abuse that she endured. Uh, it's pretty alarming, really. Yeah, exact. Yeah, that's a great point. You know, where um maybe I'll just do. You know what I'll do? I'll just I'll just do a story on her because I don't want to like it's like mixing two things, right? I agree with you, Sharon, because I think Tim knows something too. I sure do. And you know what really bothers me about him, and I swear I can't get this out of my head, is he I mean, I had a conversation with him, right? And he talking in riddles is exactly what he does. And it's kind of like Jody Sue, really, to be honest with you. You have to kind of like figure in what they're saying. Oh, yes, you're right. It wasn't a 5-week-old baby. It was 5 days old. That is, thank you for correcting me, Connie. It is horrible. It is horrible. How a 5-day baby can be ripped out of their mother's arms, and she got charges for trying to talk with them and say, hey, please let me, please, can I, let me keep my baby until we go to court, and I've got documentation showing that I just took the baby for a checkup. 5 days old. I just took the baby for a checkup, and they wouldn't take any of that. They wouldn't. Well, of course, once a judge orders, the law enforcement has absolutely no choice but to execute that. But to take a baby out, I mean, it was just unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. Yeah, I agree with you. So I'll come back on maybe tonight, because there was actually one or two more things I wanted to put together before I talked about that with y'all. But yeah, hat really? Well, yeah. See, and she said something about him being involved with people in the, what was it called? Some kind of a cocaine. I can't recall exactly what she said, but yeah, the good old boys. And see, I think we're dealing with that a little bit over here in Hawkins County. You know, they've yeah, this is yes, Helen. I mean, this really, that is concerning. It's like, why would you come for, I think it was a drug run, or something. Something. But yeah, I think the drug cartel is there. That's why Candace had a meltdown. And, like I said, Dawn says it's an automatic death sentence to talk about people down there. You got Candace saying, I'm too scared, to say anything. There's a lot I could say, but there's a lot I can't say because my life could be in danger. I believe that 100%. Now I can't believe everything that, you know, these people are saying, but there are bits and pieces of truth in here. You know what I mean? Oh Lord, it is sickening, and I cannot believe it's been a year. Some are still not home. I hope and pray those boys are okay, and that they're getting counseling and it's actually helping them. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, we're going to come back and talk about that if y'all are interested. I just someone told me like about a few weeks ago, hey, look into John Walsh and Megan and all that. And I started looking into it, and my mind was like blown. I mean, literally blown. Um, I think, yeah, I think, and I think that it kind of goes high up because they're not protecting our children. They're not. And I had called and made a report to missing and exploited children when that whole thing was going on with the Feet Fables, which is totally weird. Um, and they took all the information and all that stuff, right? And then I'm hearing that there's some kind of ties into that, and I'm like, what? Who do you trust? Really? Who do you trust? It's like you can't trust anybody anymore. And it's sad. And you know, we really do. We have to take it upon ourselves to really be vigilant with our children. Like I took my granddaughters and my daughter shopping one day, and my granddaughter's like the butterflies and the double hearts and all that stuff, and I'm like, no, no. uh it oh, you think? Oh god, that's funny. Yeah, I know it's a lot to take in. That's why I haven't talked about it before now. I mean, it's just yeah, it's deep. It's really deep, um but yeah, it does. It takes, I think that the law, it's just a revolving door for people who abuse children. And I think the ones that are getting caught are the lower level, like normal, like regular people out in the world. But there are people higher up, right? I mean, there are people higher up, just like Epstein. He was like like untouchable. A whole freaking island out there, and all kinds of stuff went on. You had famous people in and out. Nobody spoke up. They had to see what was going on. Nobody spoke up for these children. It's just disgusting. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like when I started hearing like this stuff, I'm like, what? But if you hear his daughter talk, she's very well spoken. She doesn't seem crazy. I mean, that's what her parents are saying. And when I come, I do want to bring both sides. I'm not going to just come up here and say, well, what Megan is saying is for fact, because y'all know how I am. I try to, if I show one thing, I try to show the other side too. You know what I mean? We have to, and then we can make our own decisions. We can make our own opinions. He's done a lot of good. I'll say that. John Walsh has found children. He's done a lot of good. But does that mean in his private life that he didn't make so much good decisions? I don't know. We'll just have to explore that together. Um, Megan does talk about him having affairs, and both of them, mom and dad. I don't know. We'll just see. You know what I mean? I'll make sure that I got both sides, and we'll kind of talk about that. You know. So, I mean, but he's done some good things. He has saved children. We none of us can deny that. None of us, because he has. He's done good things. I know Dr. Phil really irks me. I really expected him to like do his thing, you know, when they come in, you know, but he was like coddling them almost to me. You know what I mean? But okay, y'all. Uh, yeah. I didn't really agree with the whole, well, nobody wants their children gone. You know what I mean? Oh, but you know what is interesting? See, I can't get off of this now. What is really interesting, I saw, um, okay, so all that was found is, you know, his head is, I hate to, that's so horrible to think about. But there's a channel that was doing like a real in-depth thing, and the dental records, okay, his both of his front teeth were gone, right? He had no front teeth. And in the little boy's head, that, yeah, Adam Walsh, the little boy's dental record or whatever, he had a front tooth. And so that made me go, what? And then Megan said just recently she got a phone call or text messages. Yeah, the teeth were there. Yes, there was a tooth, a front tooth that was almost fully grown in. So that was like, what is going on here? Right. But then she says that she got a text message from Adam saying that he is alive and well. I know this is very conspiracy theory, and I don't know enough about it yet to talk completely. But and Jen, you know, I did a story. Well, actually, I didn't. It didn't come through. I did a story about this little girl that was saved from um, it was a Satanist group that her grandmother was in, and they found evidence, physical evidence that she was abused. Um, she had multiple abortions. She got out at 14. She was in it from 3 to, she witnessed sacrifices, all kinds of stuff like that. Maybe I'll share that with y'all too. It's interesting, but um, heartbreaking at the same time. And I'm going to stay clear away from from all that stuff there, the Oprah and the Dr. Phil and stuff. But I mean, you know, even as conspiracy theory as a lot of this stuff is, the fact is some of this is really happening too. You know what I mean? It's far-fetched for us normal people to wrap our head around. You know what I'm saying? It really is. It's like, how can that even be? I mean, it's so bizarre. It's so out there. How can that even be? But it happens. So, you know, it's like, where does conspiracy theory and reality meet? That's, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We got way off. We got way off. Okay, so let me take us back just a little bit. Okay, so I went ahead and shared that phone call. And it's hearsay from someone else, is at least 2 stories in, right? 2 people in. So that's hearsay. And then we got Benny Keys. I've shared his side too, that he and a group of people, Gavel Geeks, Penny, Fizzle, they all like listened, looked into it, dug into it. They reported it to the TBI, the FBI, which is exactly what should have happened. And I'm so glad they did. And he didn't put it out because he didn't think it was valuable information. He didn't want to, I guess, keep the rumor mill going. Hey, Raybird. And yes, that not crazy? Telling Brian Laundrie just to kill himself. Yeah, that was kind of. And then he didn't really. And then he was going to do something about Summer, and then Summer just kind of got. She didn't really get a very good, a very good public speaking. And oh Lord, the dog, the bounty hunter. Oh geez, yeah. A virus stimulus check. I heard in North Carolina that they were going to give that a oh, see, everybody's entitled to opinions over here. Absolutely. But they were saying in North Carolina that they put a bill in to give every person in North Carolina, I guess if you're registered through the DMV or whatever, a $400 gas check. I mean, gas is high for sure. I filled up my tank for the first time in a very long time about a couple weeks ago. It was $95. $95. And I only get 290 miles to the tank. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Oh, is it a rumor? Oh, I seen it on some news thing that I get. I don't know. Yeah, Helen, I agree. I think see, and I think the only thing that we can do, the only thing that you the only thing that we can do is speak about it, talk about it. All this garbage that's going on in this world, we just can't be quiet. I mean, it's just like, I think I've said it before. I think that the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department is feeling pressure. Well, I'm sure the YouTube community, yeah, they probably are sick of us, but that's because we're not letting Summer's name drop or die down. You know what I mean? And it's putting pressure on Hawkins County, probably more than they probably have to do their job better than they ever have before. You know what I mean? So they've got the FBI, TBI on them, looking to them. And so it isn't going to get swept under the rug, I do believe. Discuss the pickle. Oh, the pickle we're all in. Discuss the pickle. We are in a time, aren't we? Oh my goodness. See, and that just puts us in deeper and deeper into the hole as a whole community. You know what I mean? I know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, there's shortages of food. I mean, oh my gosh, what about the price of like just meats and stuff? It's like, you remember, well, I'm older. I can remember when I was younger grocery shopping, you could now, like, if you go buy wings or something, it's like an arm and a leg. And but you could buy a big old huge bag of them for like 20 cents a pound or something. It was like really cheap. Just thinking back, it's yeah. You just exactly. You can't just keep printing money. It's going to lose. It loses its values. It isn't helping us. And I'll just say this. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. So we have a pipeline that's shut down. Okay. Well, I was reading some facts about, gas and all that, right? We have enough gas in the United States and this is what I read, okay, that we have enough gas to provide not only for us, but all of our allies for 100 years. But instead of opening that stinking pipeline back up, let's go over and, yes, open the pipeline. Let's go over and deal with the people who hate us, hate the United States. Let's go deal with them and give them our money instead of keeping it right here. Yeah, we have enough for 100 years. Oh, what is wrong with our government? Jeez. I mean, let's start producing things back here in the United States. Let's take care of ourselves, I mean, we got the means to do it. I don't really, I mean, let everybody kind of do their thing, yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to go and give our hard-earned money and pay twice, three times the amount of money for a gallon of gas than we have to. Yeah, they are. They're wanting us to have electric cars. Well, I don't want an electric car. I mean, I'm sorry. Yes. Our gas here and it's high for here. It's um yesterday 3.60 a gallon. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and then yeah, I know. Right, Karen? That's perfect. If our electric goes out, what are we going to do? Oh, then we got to have solar cars, y'all. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay, yes. I got to say something about that because that really, where did it go? Where did that go? Let's see. Yeah, Tim showed up at the vigil and stood, of course, in the background. Stood in the background. I don't know why. If he doesn't want his face or name to be associated with Summer, then you know what? Don't put your face out there. You know what I mean? That really was kind of like, oh, I was going to tell you earlier. Okay, so I talk in circles sometimes. I hope y'all follow me. So Tim was telling me that, and I've shared this before, 460 in Texas. Holy crap, y'all. My gosh, how are we going to live? Thank you. How are we going to live? Thanks for subbing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome. Oh my God. How are we going to even? Yeah, no, I don't know how we're going to do this. Almost $5 in Kentucky. Dang. You know what? God is great. And I guess it's all part of his plan, or he's allowing it to happen, right? Wow. Jen says, Farm Lady Daisy said Mullen walked up to her and whispered in her ear that he was Tim Mullen. That is weird, y'all. But he says to me, I was like, it's just really sad that, this little baby's gone. He goes, well, let's get something straight. He's like, she's not a little baby. I was like, yes, she is a little baby. He goes, no, she's a young lady, a young, did he say young lady? A young girl. I don't remember his exact words, but it was really, really weird. Kind of like along the lines of, Dawn saying she's a lovely young lady. I mean, she's a baby. 5 years old is a baby. And when she went missing, she hadn't been five very long, you know? So I don't understand. He gets mad. Oh, and the baby formula. That is, I know that's really concerning. I've got some family members that, um, that have just recently had babies and they can't nurse. And so they're like out looking. They got people looking. You're only allowed, one per, you know, per shopping trip or whatever. Can't order it. I don't understand that. There is absolutely no reason for that. There is absolutely no reason. And she is a baby. I think when my kids were, uh, what? Are you serious? I'll just post that one. Uh, let's see if I can get to it before it goes away. Did it get there? Did I get it? Look at what's the shortage. Oh, geez. We're just going to have to go back to pioneer days and grow our own stuff and go and trade in town or something. I think Tim is a very shady person, and I told him so too. I got so sick of him once. I sent him a message. I said, you know what? I said, you need to just tell what you know. And he didn't answer. I blocked him after that because I was just sick of the games. Uh, I just don't like all this. You know, oh mercy. See, I don't understand what is going on in the world. I did see that. Yeah, I saw that. A, a, a 3-year-old girl. Really? A 3-year-old girl is possessed? I mean, come on. 3-year-olds, they're going through the, jeez. We have certainly got off of everything, but it's okay. I just pray to Rita that justice for Summer is so important. We want to know where she is. Please, God, somebody knows where she is. And if they don't know where she is, they know what happened. And you know what blows my mind is that the reward fund was up to what, 72.3. Yeah, they do act a lot rock and robin. I agree with you. Yeah, none of them think highly of women. I don't think anybody down in that area thinks very much of women, honestly. Tim for sure doesn't. God. Stop having babies for a year. Yeah, man. Yep. Man, I agree with all y'all. I really do. I just, but the 75,000. Thank you. I knew it was in between like 72 and somewhere around there, and that's not enough money to have someone speak up on behalf of Summer. I tried to call to find out about the reward fund, and I couldn't get anyone to answer the phone. So I'm going to keep trying uh, because I want to know. And I'm sorry, you know, I know. Yeah. It. And it's really sad that things are so bad that people are having to think, well, can we afford to have a baby right now? I want a baby, but can't have one right now because we can't afford it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's. Are you? Did you hear that they were going to disperse the money? Sherlock Holmes. Were they going to disperse that money? And that was a. I think what's the harm in leaving it there for a little longer? You know what I mean? It's still an active case. Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of threats going on. I think they know down there you don't rat on each other, right? What is that saying? I've heard it before. Something like uh, uh snitches ditches, snitches end up in ditches or something like that. Me too, Amy. There are some good things that happen when you get older. But yeah, and Helen, yes, and he grew up Mormon, right? And yeah, snitches get ditches. Yes, 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 that's it. And I think that's kind of the what they live by down there, don't y'all? I mean, that's just my opinion, but you know. Yeah, we did, Jen Mail. Yeah, you'll have to go back and listen to the start. We did. We've just got off on a whole nother. We've gone talked about gas and Tim Mullins and the Walsh situation and all of that. You know, so we've kind of gone all around. I would like to think that money would stay in there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what Brenda. That's yeah. We I shared that video and I shared the video from Benny Keys, kind of debunking that. Um, oh, I'm gonna have to go check that out on Squall's channel. Yes, definitely, definitely gonna have to. Well, welcome here. We just kind of talk about whatever. I mean, we all get along. I mean, even if we don't agree, it's okay. It don't matter. We all have opinions. So it doesn't matter. Yes, I agree. They should leave the reward alone, leave it in place. It doesn't hurt anything. And yeah, and I've heard that before that, maybe they do something with it for the boys. Maybe even if it's for they put that money into long-term counseling for them or something. You know what I mean? Bye, Gma. Talk to you in a little while. Um, I mean, that would be a good way to spend it to make sure that they get the mental health that they need, right? Well, you know what is so weird about I find weird about Lawson is okay, he's the sheriff, okay? Um his dad was a sheriff. He's been a long time sheriff. Nobody running against him. Why? He looks mean as crap, in my opinion. Um, he is also the warden. So, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he had something to do with the rescue squad too. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah, I mean, what would be wrong with like putting this money for some good long-term use for the boys? I mean, they're going to need it. If they don't, it doesn't look like Candace is going to try to do anything to get. Hey, Top Dog, I missed you, I guess. Really? I didn't even know Tim Mullins got part of the refund back. I didn't even know he had any money in that. I hadn't heard that. Yeah, that's not right. But I did hear there was I did hear there was a couple of people that put some high dollar money in, like 20,000 or something, and if they didn't if it didn't go to Summer, that they were going to get that back or something. So that could possibly be true. Yeah, I mean, there's a church at the end of Light Holler. Oh, Frank Light. Frank Light is a sketchy guy, horrible person, dangerous, dangerous person. Really is. Wow, I'm going to look into that prayer house. I have kind of kept myself from talking about this because it's I don't think I will talk about it yet. I did talk to a couple locals in this church, this one church that Frank has all over his Facebook page. It is sketchy, and this is not like a religious man, in my opinion. Thank you. I'm gonna look into that, Top Dog. I really, because I kind of feel like, well, I don't know if I want to say that. I'm still looking into it. I don't know if I want to say this yet. I don't think I will. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tease y'all, but I'll definitely look into it some more, especially after this information. Well, y'all, yeah, she did say she won't do a church. I wasn't sure if it was Solomon's or. Well, listen, I've been on an hour and 32 minutes, and we've yeah now. Oh, is that pond the one that um Cam and Allie had some diver go and there wasn't anything in there? But is that the pond? Huh. Well, okay. Okay, I'm gonna work on a couple things. I'm gonna work on the Walsh thing. I'll think about sharing my theory on this church. Um, because I've been watching it for a while and it's sketchy. Huh, that's interesting. I'm glad you told me about that. Yeah, I agree, Karen. I mean, might as well. I mean, no stone unturned for Summer. You know what I mean? No stone unturned. But we sure did go in circles, didn't we, Kay? Oh Lord. Oh, really? That's interesting. I did see there was a new interview. Y'all might want to check it out too. I haven't been able to yet. A new interview with I think Scott H and Ziggy. We're talking about it. I haven't listened to it yet. There's supposed to be a new video or audio of Fred Hill talking to Ziggy, so that should be interesting. Um, so I'm gonna go check that out if y'all want to too. I think it's on Ziggy's. I think even Scott H has done a video on that. I'm gonna listen to them both. Scott's pretty analytical and he breaks things down pretty good, I think. But listen, I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for coming in here and sharing your thoughts and opinions. I always love it. I love it. I love it. And I'll be back on if maybe tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow for sure. So y'all have a great day. We might have to go to Fred Flintstone's kind of vehicles with our feet, maybe some bicycles. Well, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. Thanks, Kay. So glad everybody was here. Appreciate you all. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Maybe we'll talk about